Hey everybody, Cynical Italian here. Let's have a talk about 2025 Royal Rumble, shall we? Let's do it. Okay, so before we get started, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all of those fun things that don't cost you anything and don't take any time. Just hit the buttons right there. Keep watching, keep listening to me. Hit the buttons. So, last night was the 2025 WWE Royal Rumble. So, quick little background before we get going, because this is the first one that we're doing here. I've been a wrestling fan since I was young, back when it was only on late night Saturday nights on cable when you could find it. Throughout the 90s, I got much bigger and became a much bigger wrestling fan. I watched every show that was on. I was in a relationship back then with a family who loved wrestling, and I mean, people that were so intense into it that, you know, some of them thought that the storylines were real. Let's be clear, I'm not one of those fanatics. I understand what professional wrestling is. It's a show. I refer to it as man soaps, and I love it. I'm 51 years old. And I've watched them forever. My grandmother lived with me until she passed away in 2015. She was an avid wrestling fanatic, and she thought the guys were real. I mean, when they fought and had arguments, and I mean, you'd hear her in her room yelling at the TV because there were guys that she didn't like, and she was mad that they were yelling at guys that she liked. So there are people who love it for all kinds of different reasons. I enjoy the theatrics and the storytelling of wrestling. The problem is that over the years, most recently, the last 10 years, that story writing has gotten really boring. And I don't enjoy it like I used to. So I don't watch the weekly shows. Every once in a while, I may catch a Raw, maybe a SmackDown on Fridays, but it's not like it was in the 90s and the early 2000s. I just don't watch the weekly shows. They're boring. Everything that they do there now is a chunk of a story that isn't always written well leading up to the next pay-per-view. And what has now happened is that sometimes the pay-per-view is a good story and a good payoff. And in other times, the pay-per-views are worse than the weekly episodes. So that brings us to last night's Royal Rumble. I've been to a lot of live events. I have done some sponsorships for local wrestling. I've been around a lot of that, both here and back in Phoenix. So yeah, wrestling is not. I'm not a wrestler. Was never a wrestler. I've been inside of a ring, but that's not. I enjoy watching. I enjoy the fun of it. But let's be real, it's stories with some of the most amazing athletes there are performing every week a storyline that is pre-written, preordained. They just got to go out there and make it look as real and as cool as possible. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes that does not. So here's my take on last night's Royal Rumble. We're going to start with, there was only 4 matches. So we're going to start with the tag team match. Okay, so boring. It was boring. 2 teams that I care nothing about. Have no draw to them at all. The Motor City Machine Guns. I mean, who comes up with the stupid names? I thought we'd gotten past stupid names, but we haven't. I guess it sometimes these writers think that they're still in the 80s. Horrible names. They don't like it. But it was two teams that nobody cares about. It was a boring match. I don't have a whole lot to say about it other than the name, the one team with the machine guns. You guys need a new name. None of the teams didn't work together. It wasn't cohesive like tag teams used to be. And that's what's missing in the tag team division, I think. You're missing teams like your DX teams. You're missing teams like your Hardy Boys. You're missing teams like the Dudleys. There is not one tag team out there right now in the men's division or the women's division that is an actual real team like they used to be. I want to say the last good tag team that was a tag team was the Usos 5 years ago. So we know how that all turned out. That's a whole nother storyline that I'm so burnt out on that whole storyline. Is just, I can't do it. That's one of the reasons why I stopped watching the weeklies. So anyways, the men's tag team match. Boring. Now let's move on to the ladder match. Okay. I'm a Cody Rhodes fan. I was a Cody Rhodes fan before he left. I wasn't really I didn't get into the other brand very much. I know they've got good stars over there. I know they brought back a lot of old stars that people love, but the whole outfit feels B Squad. And whether that's lighting or whatever it is, it just feels like a B show. Anyways, I liked Cody over there. I like what Cody went to go do over there. It was awesome to see Cody come back and get that push. I think that the WWE was right at making Cody earn it for 2.5 years before that they didn't let him just come in and win it. They let him come in and start fighting for it, but they made him fight for it for 2.5 years. That was a good thing. Last night's match, Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, ladder match. I'm not a KO fan. KO is kind of annoying to me. There's been times when KO hasn't been annoying, but for the most part, the KO character is really annoying. And I want to say that the KO Kevin Owens coming in ruined Sami Zayn for me. The serious, legitimate Sami Zayn that wasn't a crybaby and wasn't twisting things and cheating and doing those things. The Sami Zayn before that was a Sami Zayn that I could have gotten behind. I liked that story and that character, the new character, over the last however many years. And it really happened when KO came in and that combination of the two, and it really ruined Sami for me. I don't like Sami anymore. Anyways, Sami was not in this match. It was Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens. Ladder match for the rightful owner of the championship belt. Obviously, Cody Rhodes is the champion. KO is not the champion. KO is a crybaby, whiner. The writers have done really, or Kevin has done really good at creating an absolute douchebag character that you don't like and you don't care about. And he really is he's that high school punk prick that all of us had in high school that you just want to run over with a truck. Kevin Owens has taken that role on really well. As for the match, it was boring. It was another boring match. For being a ladder match, it was lackluster. It just kept going and going, and nothing was happening, and nothing got good really until the very end. And then it was kind of a drawn out, boring, and then bang, 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 bang. 30 seconds of drama and craziness, and then it was over. I think that was a miss. Do they need to go out and actually hurt and kill each other the entire match? No. But could they have made it funner to watch? 100%. Come on. You can go back and watch older ladder matches with any of those great tag teams I told you about, and those guys were running 45 minutes of nonstop bang, 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 bang. This was bang, bang, done. That's not fun. So, match number 2, boring. You knew that Cody Rhodes was going to win it. Cody's the champion. Cody's going to be a champion for a while. I hope that they don't kill the Cody Rhodes character like I feel they did with Roman Reigns. Way too far. Drawn out for way too damn long. Cody needs to lose at some point in time in the near future, I think. Cody needs to be out for a little bit, kind of drop down levels a little bit, fight, and make his way back to the top down the road. You can't just you can't keep doing what that stuff worked in the 70s and 80s. It doesn't work now. The audience doesn't have that longevity for it. Not when we've got 4 shows a week. You can't keep the same person there anymore. You just can't. You've got to. You can give them a run. I mean, you can give them a year and a half run, but even that, I think you're pushing. You're pushing. Roman Reigns being the best and the best of the best of the best for the last freaking 6-7 years and nobody being able to take him out is boring. It's boring. Trying to throw in the cheaters and the different things, it's boring. So Cody won. Cody was going to win. You knew that was going to happen. The move at the end, if you haven't watched it, is pretty gnarly. I haven't taken the time yet this morning to see how Kevin Owens is physically after the final move. The hard part with that is finding out what stuff that you're going to find on the internet or read, how much of that is work and what's real. So is he hurt? Is he not hurt? Is it story? Is it real? I want to know the real. I'd like to know if he's okay. I don't like the character, but I don't want to see anybody get hurt in wrestling, whether they're a good character or a bad character. So we're going to skip over the women's rumble. We're going to go to the men's rumble. Okay. The men's rumble. I had a feeling it was going to be kind of a boring rumble this year. I was hoping for good pops, good surprises. There were no surprises in the men's rumble. There were none. You knew everybody that was coming. There was nothing that was a surprise. They've overdone some stories with some things. It was boring. You're going to hear that word boring a lot today. The men's rumble was kind of just boring all the way from the beginning to the end. Like I was hoping that we were going to get funner stuff from the luchadors, especially at the beginning with the 2 that came out first. Didn't happen. There was just no pops. There was nothing. I could really count as they were coming out. I knew who was going to be in the top 5, top 10. It was obvious, and that makes it boring. Excuse me. I think that where the men's rumble The good, the bad. There's not very much good. The bad. Do I think that Jey Uso was worthy of winning the Rumble? Yes. Should it have been John Cena that he threw out to win? No. The men's Rumble writing was bad in the fact that when the minute that it got down to the last 6 and CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns all get eliminated together at the same time, the minute that those 3 were out, you knew who the winner was. The match could have literally just ended. We knew who won. Nothing was going to change. It was Jey Uso was the winner. It was too obvious. It was painful. It was like, I don't need to watch the rest of this match anymore. John Cena's not going to win it. Here's why. This is a John Cena farewell tour, right? Which means that there needs to be a reason to see John Cena at every pay-per-view, whether he's done at WrestleMania or whether he's going to go throughout the year all the way to Christmas. There needs to be a reason for John Cena to be at every pay-per-view, okay? If John Cena wins the Rumble, there's no reason for him to be at any other pay-per-view until WrestleMania. So he's not going to win. He's just not. YouTube boy is not going to win the Rumble. You can say what you want about him being a YouTuber and not being a real wrestler and not being this, not being that. The thing about Paul is Logan is probably one of the best physical wrestlers in the business right now. That guy is the most annoying person to just look at, but he gets out there and can do anything inside that squared circle or out of it. He is amazing to watch, whether you like him or you don't. But he wasn't going to win it. Jay has had so much of a push leading up to the Rumble that it was painfully obvious that when you had Cena, Paul, and Uso left in the ring, Uso was your winner. And so it kind of ruined the end. Now, before that happened, what was taking place outside the ring with Punk and Rollins and Reigns was great. That's the best part of the men's Rumble, was that 5 minutes of absolute mayhem destruction that was going on outside the ring. The fight of fights that we've been waiting for years for these fights to happen. And they gave us a taste. It wasn't wrong to give that taste. That should have happened. Where the writing was wrong was that it should not have been Logan Paul, John Cena, and Uso left in the ring. I believe that Cena should have been eliminated before the 3 big guy fiasco. I think that you could have left Logan in, but even Logan kind of makes it meh. But there should have been another big name in the ring for Jay to eliminate. Somebody that has just as big a push. I mean, I know that there isn't anybody as much of a push as Uso right now, but somebody of that above him caliber, so that you weren't sure who was going to win. That's where I think that the men's Rumble failed. We didn't know. I didn't know watching. I didn't know who was going to win the Rumble all the way through it until those 3 got kicked out. Because I'm like, are they going to let Punk win this? Are they going to? Is Rollins going to win it? I'm going to be so mad they're going to let Roman Reigns win this stupid thing again and let Roman just walk his way back. This is going to be so dumb. Da 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 da. And then those 3 got out, and I'm like, oh shit. Oh wait. Okay, Jey Uso just won. Well, it's not over. No, Jey Uso just won. So, to me, that's where the writing went wrong and where the men's Rumble went wrong. Yeah, I mean, I'm not upset that Jey Uso won it. I don't think that anybody else should be upset that Jey Uso won it. It definitely is his time to shine. I just think that the writing messed up the chance at a good pop, and Jey Uso putting out John Cena wasn't. It just wasn't. John Cena's been out too long to be coming in and putting guys over at that level. He's not the John Cena that we all know. John Cena, that guy's gone. He was botching a lot during the match. He was hiding and hanging on the ropes and watching. The worst part was that John Cena was talking a lot during the match. If you watch the match, there's lots of times where you see John bent over and visibly John is telling the wrestlers in front of him their whole script and what moves to do and where to go and what to do. That's just bad ring rust, John. Can't do that. Can't do that. This is theatrics. And you weren't doing a good enough job there, Mr. John Cena. We could see you. So yeah, Men's Rumble was boring. And they ruined the end. Now, the Women's 2025 Royal Rumble. So I actually recorded my live reaction to the entire Women's Rumble. I was going to record my live reaction to the Women's Rumble and the Men's Rumble. I was so irritated by the Women's Rumble that I didn't record my reaction to the Men's Rumble because the Women's Rumble ruined it. Let's start with the fact that there were 30 women in the ring. 10 of them have no business being in a WWE on-air television taping. They don't know how to wrestle. They are bad. They are going to hurt themselves. They are going to hurt other people. There were more botches in the first half of the Women's Rumble than I have seen in a year's worth of wrestling. It was absolutely horrible. And I have nothing against the women's division. I think that the women have... There are some women wrestlers out there that were absolutely amazing, but they're trying to build it and push it so fast that instead of just keeping the 10 or 15 or 20 women that know how to do this, they're trying to overflood with 40 women that half of them don't know how to freaking wrestle, and it's affecting the ones that do know how to wrestle, and it's hurting matches. It's hurting the product. It sucks. And that's hard for me to say because I really enjoy the women's division and where it has gone because some of it is really fun to watch. The match was okay. I wouldn't say that it was boring other than the botches were so horrible. The match itself leading up was the least boring of the 4 matches of the night. If you could eliminate those 5 to 10 girls, the Rumble match would have been really good. Except for one thing, and we'll get to that in a minute. Surprises. I was hoping for big surprises. There was only one. And it was a cool surprise. It was great to have Alexa Bliss back. Alexa Bliss is fun. Her Bray Wyatt character is fun. I'm glad that she came back as that character. I don't know if she's going to be in the Wyatt 6. I don't know what they're doing with the Wyatt 6. Like there was this really big, what could have been a really cool big push at the very beginning of it. And then Eh. So I'm bummed because I was really hoping good things for the Wyatt Six story and characters, and they've done dick with it. But Alexa Bliss is back. Another one that people, the internet I've seen, oh my God, she's back. It's amazing. When she came back, if you saw my live reaction, so I watch a lot of reality game shows and things like that. And one of the ones that I'm watching is, I just had a total brain fart. One of the ones that I'm watching is The Traitors. I love the show, The Traitors, and I watch all of them from all the different countries. But the new season of Traitors is out. And who was on The Traitors? Nikki Bella. She got eliminated early on. As soon as her music started and Nikki Bella's back, made total sense to me why she was on The Traitors. So that people remember who the hell she is, because she's really, nobody cares about the Bellas anymore. Little Miss, I'm from Scottsdale. You're from South Scottsdale, pretty much North Mesa. Let's be real about where you're from. You're not from the hoity-toity parts of Scottsdale, Arizona. I know, I used to live over there. Yeah, that's not where you're from. So, anyways, the Nikki Bella was not. I suppose for people who don't watch things like The Traitors, it may have been a surprise, and there was a little pop for her, but not for me. As soon as she came out, I was like, that's why she was on The Traitors. Because when she came out on The Traitors, I was like, there's somebody that nobody cares about. There really is a bunch of failed careers on this show this year. But now I know why she was there. Anyways, she wasn't a surprise to me. There were no other surprises in the women's. Here's where the WWE made the biggest mistake of the Royal Rumble. And I don't know who's in charge of this, but somebody needs to be fired. Whether that's Mr. Triple H. I think the Triple H has been doing a great job with the company since the whole Vince debacle and pushing out of control. Until now. Putting out teasers and telling everybody that Charlotte Flair was back 2 weeks ago was the dumbest thing the WWE has done in a long, long time. They absolutely wasted her return. They wasted her win. They wasted all of it. The minute that her teasers came out and you knew Charlotte Flair was coming back and joining the Rumble, you knew she was going to win it. She was the winner. She was the winner. That was the end of it. It was, and the internet knew it, and the internet was posting it, and everybody knew it. And so that really ruined. She came out to an ovation that was great, but can you imagine if nobody knew she was going to come back and you had the Alexa Bliss pop that was big for Alexa because nobody knew she was coming back? To have that big Alexa Bliss pop and then turn around and have a Charlotte Flair explosion. Holy shit, Charlotte Flair is back. We had no idea. And then to go on and win the Rumble is pops on pops on pops on pops. What you did was you 2 weeks before the Rumble said, oh, by the way, Charlotte Flair's back. Then a week later, Charlotte Flair, I'm back. I'm a badass bitch. I'm going to beat everybody. I'm coming to win the Royal Rumble. Okay. Well, you just gave away the storyline. And then it was okay fighting with some really bad girls wrestling. And then at the end, Charlotte Flair wins. The only thing worse than knowing that Charlotte Flair was going to win when it started was the shorts Charlotte Flair was wearing. You need to go back to the drawing table on your ring gear for last night because the bottom shorts, yeah, Kitty, you didn't like it either, did you? Her shorts looked like grandma diapers. It was bad. It was bad. Yeah, so Grandma Diaper Charlotte, who I like. I think she's an amazing wrestler. I think she's great for the company. I'm glad that she's back. She's fun. What I like about Charlotte is that they don't give her she's a title and nobody can beat her. They give her the title. They let her win for a while. Then she loses and she fights her way back. That is how you do storylines. And so they're doing a lot of that right with the women, but they absolutely ruined the Rumble last night. So all in all, I had a conversation with somebody before the Rumble started last night about the fact that I was hoping that last night's Rumble was going to be great. We haven't had a good Rumble in 3 or 4 years. Last night was the chance to do something good with it, and they failed. I give it a fail. Yeah, it was not the worst Rumble that I've seen, but it's right up there, unfortunately. So, hope that they can get their act together with the storylines and pull some shit together. But, yeah, you heard it from me. Cynical Italian, my opinion, 4 matches were all duds. All 4 of them. It was 4 hours with a 3-hour pre-show. Come on, guys. It was bad. So anyways, there's our first goods, bads, and the uglies. My thoughts and opinions on the 2025 WWE Royal Rumble. Hopefully next month's pay-per-view is going to be better. We'll see. We'll watch it, and we'll do a reaction to it at the end of it. So once again, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for subscribing. Those of you, other 80% of you that are watching this video that aren't subscribed, hit the damn button. It doesn't cost you anything. It does nothing to affect you, but it affects me a lot for you to hit that button. All right? Thank you. Have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Don't know what that's going to be, but there'll be another one. Later.